This is one of those nifty front pocket organizer pouches that I carry on and off. Now that it's getting a little bit cooler out and I'm wearing jeans more, I'm going to start carrying this more in the summertime or with light pants and shorts. I just can't deal with it. I have a Fisher Space Pen in there. These things are awesome. I don't know why or how it took me so long to finally get one of these, but what a great full-size pen that packs into this tiny little package. And then it has that pressurized ink in there so you can write upside down, you know, like when you're flying in zero gravity. I got a little flashlight over here. I know the flashlight nerds are bristling at how pedestrian this is. It's a little mag light. It works pretty well. It fits in here. You know, I haven't gotten into the lights yet. Maybe I won't allow myself, to get into watches. Because so many wise people have said, don't get into watches. The knife in this pouch is what this video is about. This is the Medford Knives Gentleman Jack. They call it the GJ-1, Gentleman Jack 1. And it is their first slip joint knife. And it has many of the hallmarks of a Medford knife. I mean, you can see it just by looking at it. You got the sort of button style pivot. You have a sort of muscular titanium build to it. Here you have made in the United States of America. And a faux bolster. And over here you have a backspacer spring. The spring the back spring terminates as a fob holder. It looks like you need a very specific sort of ribbony piece of leather or something to go in there. But when you open it up, you also see other hallmarks of Medford knives. The logo, of course, but you also see a deep hollow grind here. Not too many slip joint knives in my possession anyway have a hollow grind. I have a cheap Uncle Henry Schrade Trapper around here somewhere. Here it is. This one has a hollow grind. Both of these blades are hollow ground. But on the whole, my slip joint knives are all fully flat ground. So it was a nice surprise to see kind of a robust blade stock here, but very, very thinly and hollowly ground. You can see the grind marks in a sort of, well, also typical Medford fashion. Oftentimes on most knives, you'll see the grind marks going perpendicular to the spine, and they'll terminate that way. I've noticed with Medford knives, they kind of follow the curve of the blade. I saw that in my slim midi, which I no longer have. So on this blade, you have a long pull that you don't really need to get your nail into, because the hollow grind, it's a full height hollow grind. And so the very top of that grind leaves this little area above this cutout as like a little ridge. So you don't need to get your thumb and nail in there. You just sort of pinch it, and it comes open. So interesting thing here. Let's get this out of the way. How big is this? 1, 2, it's 3 inches, about a 3-inch blade. So about the size of a, you know, Delica, something like that. So traditional people, traditional knife folk, slip joint people may very well like this feature. Oh, by the way, S35VN. This feature, so it has, well, 2 features here. It has a half stop. I have a lot of great slip joint knives that have half stop. I have a number of great slip joint knives that do not. It is not a hallmark of quality. It's just a thing. And actually, I do like a half stop on a knife. But on this one, you'll see when it's engaged at the half stop, the back spring is fully flush with the handle. That is also something that makes traditional knife guys and gals, slip joint lovers lose their mind, is that sort of flat spring at the half stop thing. So Medford Knives got that down for sure. Again, not a hallmark of quality. Well, not a hallmark of quality, but if you don't have a half stop, or if you don't have that flat leaf spring at the half stop, that doesn't mean it's not a high quality knife. You get the idea. So as you look at this, you can tell it's a very, very neutral handle. It's kind of like a stick, so it's going to be comfortable and useful in any grip. It has a nice walk and talk, meaning the sound is pretty good on this. It's part of the sound and the snappiness. You know, I guess could be a little snappier, but it's got very nice positive action in both directions. And, you know, it could close pretty easily. Slip joints are not meant to be hard use folders. But as far as that goes, this is kind of on the lighter side. The pull is heavier than the close on this one. On this one in particular, I'm not sure if they're all dialed in that way. Interesting thing, you have the proprietary pivot here, but over here you have standard torques. So you can take the knife half apart. Let me show this with some other slip joint knives I have. We'll start with some of the real common ones. Here's your standard large size Swiss Army knife, Victorinox. And here is a Buck 112, the little brother to the Buck 110. Very similar in size, especially on the blade. Obviously, this is way beefier. Let's see it with a very common standard slip joint pattern. This is with a trapper, a case trapper in CV. That's their chrome vanadium steel. Here's another single-bladed knife, kind of in the same vein. This is a sod buster. This is kind of modern sod bustery. Didn't really think of it that way until I had this down there. Both great knives. I like these case knives with the chrome vanadium steel. That's basically their 1095. Patinas very nicely, and it gets really, really sharp. Keeps a pretty good edge, better than their stainless steel. Here it is, the Medford Gentleman Jack with my favorite slip joint knife, the Great Eastern Cutlery number 15. This particular 15 is my favorite slip joint knife. Look at that handle. I just think this is just such a beautiful knife. I love these covers. Love them. I would love to see this Gentleman Jack, which I find to be quite an attractive knife. This would be cool with some sort of bone or stag covers. You know, have the titanium here, and then have this be like stag or jigged bone or some sort of cool dyed bone. Here it is with a GEC 71. Is this a 71? What's this number? Yeah, 71 sod buster. This is the bull buster. Or bull nose, I'm sorry, bull nose. And then finally, here it is with, you know, its big bruiser of a cousin, the Medford Praetorian. So that gives you a good idea of the size of this thing. It's still a pretty good size traditional. Most traditional knife blades max out around 3 inches, like this large trapper. And this, so this has a very similar size. Anyway, there it is. I actually think that for a modern traditional, I like this. I have a Benchmade proper, which is in pieces. Sorry, it's not here in this video, but just doesn't excite me. Modern traditionals have to do a little bit more to excite me, and this is hitting a lot of great notes for me. I think when they developed this knife, they did a little bit of research into what traditional guys look for, traditional knife collectors look for, and I think this is a pretty good, pretty bold out the gate try at a slip joint, and yeah, I like it. It's very, very capable, and it goes beautifully in my little pocket thing, pocket organizer, pocket EDC organizer, for the man on the go, for the man, or for the human modern person type creature on the go, who doesn't want his or her or their tools rubbing together. There it is. The Medford Gentleman Jack, #1.